The deserts of Iraq hold many secrets. One of the most enduring is the story of its intelligence service. Born in the turmoil of the 1960s, the Iraqi Intelligence Service, or mukhabarat as it became known, emerged from the shadows. It would become a powerful force. The mukhabarat was more than just an intelligence agency. It was a tool of fear. It was an instrument of control. In its early days, the mukhabarat was tasked with consolidating the power of the Ba'ath Party. It targeted dissidents. It silenced opposition. The agency quickly gained a reputation for ruthlessness. Its agents were everywhere. They were the eyes and ears of a regime determined to maintain its grip on power. The mukhabarat's methods were brutal. Torture was commonplace. Disappearances were frequent. Fear became a way of life for many Iraqis. The agency's power seemed absolute. It permeated every level of society. No one was beyond its reach. Saddam Hussein understood the power of fear. He saw the mukhabarat as his instrument. He used it to crush his enemies. He used it to maintain his grip on power. Under Saddam's rule, the mukhabarat flourished. Saddam empowered the mukhabarat. He gave it vast resources. He granted its agents immunity. The agency grew in size and scope. It became a state within a state. Saddam demanded loyalty from the mukhabarat. He rewarded it with power and privilege. The mukhabarat was instrumental in Saddam's rise to power. It helped him eliminate his rivals. It helped him consolidate his control. The agency became an indispensable tool for Saddam's regime. It was the iron fist inside the velvet glove. Saddam's paranoia fueled the mukhabarat's growth. He saw enemies everywhere. He trusted no one. The agency's network of informants grew exponentially. Fear and suspicion became the norm in Iraq. The mukhabarat's tentacles reached into every aspect of Iraqi life. It was involved in coups. It played a key role in the Iran-Iraq war. It even engaged in international terrorism. The agency was ruthless in its pursuit of Saddam's enemies. It carried out assassinations. It orchestrated disappearances. It ran a vast network of prisons. Torture was widespread. The mukhabarat's role in the Iran-Iraq war was pivotal. It provided Saddam with intelligence. It helped plan military operations. It even engaged in covert operations behind enemy lines. The agency's agents were everywhere, gathering information, spreading disinformation, and eliminating threats. The mukhabarat's brutality was not confined to Iraq's borders. It carried out attacks on dissidents abroad. It targeted journalists and activists. The agency's reach was global. The mukhabarat's intelligence network extended far beyond Iraq's borders. It had operatives in embassies around the world. It cultivated relationships with foreign intelligence services. It was always searching for information. The agency's reach was impressive. It had agents operating undercover in many countries. It used a variety of methods to gather intelligence. These included espionage, bribery, and blackmail. The mukhabarat was particularly interested in acquiring technology. It sought to obtain weapons of mass destruction. It wanted to develop its own nuclear program. The agency's efforts were relentless. The mukhabarat's global network was a source of both strength and weakness. It provided Saddam with valuable intelligence. But it also made the agency a target. Foreign intelligence services sought to penetrate the mukhabarat. They wanted to learn its secrets. They wanted to neutralize its threat. Section 5. The Walls Close In. The Decline of Iraqi Intelligence after 2003. The 2003 invasion of Iraq marked a turning point for the mukhabarat. The agency was disbanded. Its headquarters were ransacked. Its files were scattered. Many of its agents disappeared. They went into hiding. They feared reprisals. The collapse of the mukhabarat left a vacuum in Iraq. It created chaos and instability. The country was awash with weapons. Former regime elements were seeking revenge. The lack of a functioning intelligence service made it difficult to restore order. The United States tried to rebuild Iraqi intelligence. It trained new agents, it provided equipment and funding, but the effort was hampered by corruption and mistrust. The new Iraqi Intelligence Service struggled to gain its footing. The legacy of the mukhabarat continued to haunt Iraq. The agency's methods had poisoned Iraqi society. Fear and suspicion lingered. It would take time to rebuild trust and create a new intelligence culture. Section 6. A Phoenix from Ashes. The resurgence of the Iraqi Intelligence Service. Despite the challenges, the Iraqi Intelligence Service, as it was now known, began to rebuild. It focused on counter-terrorism. It worked to track down remnants of the old regime. It struggled to establish its credibility. The INIS faced an uphill battle. It had to overcome the legacy of the past. It had to earn the trust of the Iraqi people. It had to prove its worth in a new era. Gradually, the INIS began to make progress. It played a role in the capture of Saddam Hussein. It helped to dismantle insurgent networks. It began to develop its own sources and methods. The INIS faced new threats. The rise of ISIS presented a major challenge. The agency had to adapt quickly to the changing security environment. It had to forge new partnerships. It had to develop new strategies. Section 7. Shifting Sands. The Iraqi Intelligence Service in a Turbulent Region. The INIS found itself at the heart of a complex geopolitical landscape. Iraq was a battleground for regional and international powers. The agency had to navigate these competing interests. It had to maintain its independence. The INIS worked closely with the United States. It shared intelligence on terrorist groups. It cooperated on counter-terrorism operations. But the relationship was not without its tensions. The INIS also had to contend with Iranian influence. Iran had its own interests in Iraq. It supported Shia militias. It sought to undermine American influence. The INIS faced a delicate balancing act. It had to maintain its relationships with both the United States and Iran. It had to avoid being drawn into their rivalry. Section 8. The Spectre of Iran, External Influence and Internal Divisions. Iran's influence on the INIS became increasingly apparent. Some Iraqi officials expressed concern. They worried that the INS was becoming a tool of Iranian interests. They feared that the agency was being compromised. The INIS faced accusations of infiltration. Some alleged that Iranian agents had penetrated its ranks. They claimed that sensitive information was being leaked to Tehran. These allegations were difficult to prove, but they fueled suspicion and mistrust. The INIS's internal divisions reflected the wider sectarian tensions within Iraq. The agency was divided along Shia-Sunni lines. This made it difficult to present a united front. It also made the agency vulnerable to manipulation. The INIS's struggle to maintain its independence was a microcosm of Iraq's own challenges. The country was caught in a tug-of-war between regional powers. It was struggling to assert its sovereignty. Section 9, Legacy of Shadows, the Future of Iraqi Intelligence. The Iraqi Intelligence Service has traveled a long and difficult road. From its origins as a tool of repression, it has sought to reinvent itself as a force for stability. But its legacy continues to cast a long shadow. The INIS faces many challenges. It must overcome the legacy of mistrust. It must resist external pressure. It must navigate the complexities of Iraqi politics. The future of the INIS is uncertain, but one thing is clear. The agency will continue to play a vital role in Iraq's future. Its success or failure will have profound implications for the country and the region.